Okay, welcome back to ELM Prep, Part 14. We're going to be looking at multiplying and dividing radicals this time. Alright, so the nice thing about multiplying radicals is we don't have to worry about the insides being the same. We do have to make sure that the radical is the same. I cannot have a cube root here and a square root here. They both have to be square roots or cube roots or whatever root it is. But the insides do not have to be the same. The outsides do not have to be the same, because when I multiply radicals, I multiply the outsides times the outsides and the inside times the inside. Both of these were prime, so there will not be anything coming out of either one of these once I multiply them out. If this were not prime, we'd say maybe 4. I would probably bring that radical out, that square out first, and then multiply, but I wouldn't have to bring it out first. Okay, multiplying radicals is basically easy. Let's say we have the cube root of 15 times 3 cube root of 2. Well, this is a cube root. There's nothing coming out of here. There's no cube involved here. No cube here, so I'm not going to reduce it any. But I'm going to look at the outside times the outside. 3 times 1 is 3. I still have the cube root. They're both, oops, sorry about that. They are both cube roots. You almost screwed up there, didn't I? You would have said, nah, can't do that. And you'd be right. They both have to be the same radical. Inside, do not. So 2 times 15 would be 30. And since this is not a cube and this is not a cube, nothing's going to come out of our multiplied answer. So that would be our final answer. Outside times outside, inside times inside. 3 cube root of 30. All right. Well, how about division? Okay, well, you have 2 square root of 5 divided by 4 square root of 5. Now, let's make this a 3 just for fun. Well, in multiply and divide, the radicals must be the same, so we check that, and they are. Well, just like in multiply, outside divides into outside, inside divides into inside. So 2 divided by 4 times radical 5 divided by radical 3. And we say, oh, well, that didn't do much for me. It looks almost like the original. I could reduce the outside and say that's 1 over 2. And I could join these two into one radical. One big radical of 5 divided by 3. Like we mentioned before in the previous episode, if I have 2 radicals dividing each other, I can move them inside each other. So I can go from 2 to a single radical. So I could clean up my answer and say that's 1/2 the square root of 5/3. Now, it is possible. Let's say we have 2 square root of 12 divided by 3 square root of 4. Well, certainly I can see I could reduce this out and I could pull some values out, but let's treat it as a division. So I'm going to rewrite this as 2 square root of 12 over 3 square root of 4, and I can't reduce my 2/3, so I have that. I'm going to write a single radical of 12 over 4, and I look at this, oh, 12 divided by 4 is really just 3, so now I've reduced this down to 2/3 radical 3. I could have brought the inside out, so let me just write the answer here in fine print. 2/3 square root of 3 was our answer that way. So let's do it this way. Let's recognize that I have 4 times 3 in here. And this is just a square, so I'm going to just get this out here. This will be 2 times that will be just 6. And I'm going to take 2 out of here, so 2 times this will be 4. So I'll have 4 radical 3. 4 radical 3 divided by 6. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down as 2 radical 3 over 3, or if I want to say 2/3 radical 3. So these both were equivalent to each other. Either method worked. Sometimes it's easier just to set it up as they are and then do your division inside. It kind of was a cleaner way the first time. All right. We're doing okay on time, so let's try another division. Cube root of 125 divided by, and I'll just put it like this, cube root of 5. Well, they're both the same cube root, so I could just combine them in one long cube root. 125 divided by 5, and 5 goes into 125, square cube root of 25. Unfortunately, that's not a cube, so that's where I'm going to remain. So it doesn't matter what radical you're dealing with, as long as they are the same radical. So when it comes to multiplying or dividing, we have to have the same radical, square root, cube root, whatever that is. And we multiply or divide inside to inside and outside to outside. All right, those are the general rules of multiplying and dividing radicals. We talked about adding and subtracting radicals in part 13, so if you skipped that, you might want to go back and look at add and subtract radicals. All right, that was a quick, easy lesson. Multiply and divide radicals are, in fact, fairly easy. It's the add and subtract that gets tricky. So certainly look at part 13 for add and subtract. Oops, sorry, add and subtract. Part 13, nice 3 there. See? Okay, this was short. That's nice to have a short one once in a while. Have a good day.